a little hurtful that I can't just be confident in being with one person, that I gotta look over my shoulder at these girls on Instagram, and it's hard sometimes because I don't have all that they have, and sex has become my superpower. It's like sex is where I'm finding my work. You know, that's the one thing that I know I can make you keep coming back to. At the end of the day, even if you don't really want me, I know you're gonna want that. In one way, it's empowering. In another way, it's sad. I feel moments of sadness knowing that, you know, just me alone and who I am is not enough.
This song is called Girl Like Me, featuring the wonderful, talented her. We're gonna do it for her. I made a profile on Tinder, said you love me to be with. I think that means I'm getting desperate. Wish I could return the sender, but you I don't even know. No, it was real when you blocked me. Now we're sitting on judging my body.
Peace, everybody.
Why in the hell you ain't choosing me? Why you? Yeah, I don't know what for. You must want something different, still don't know.
Darren, just the man I need to see, or the man I need to talk to. Check my check my description box when you get a chance. And I got a question for you, a techie question.
Maybe I should look like a stripper, wearing fashionable dresses. Why these dudes be so?
Hey, Red Wings. Hey, Josiah. Hey, Chocolate Bay. How are you? Queen of the South. Hey, Callie Jane.
What you asked, I would have given. It ain't right how these hoes be winning.
Hey, Cotillia.
No hope for a girl like me. How come they be winning?
And y'all, the appearance of how my name appears in chat rooms to minimize people being able to duplicate my account and duplicate the lettering of my username, my handle. Just take note of the different fonts. Hey, Dior Diva. Hey, Troy Queen. Spanish Eyes. Key. Sexy Star. And Top Pot Man. How are you? I seen Jay-Z earlier, just going through the chat to see who else is in.
Oh, I'll be. Oh, baby, baby. Look what you did to me, baby.
Hey, Princess Brandy. Hey, Angie, how are you? Just trying to give a little bit more time for some people to come into the room, because when I got my my DVR turned off on some of the channels, so I did the link to my newest channel is actually in the show notes, and I just thought it was interesting that Leticia would basically say, Lady Aquarium would say, that she can't find a man of her own originally, but she can teach somebody about originally. Hey, stupid. Okay, perhaps you need the definition of what original is. Original isn't Aunt Esther. You do realize, dumb bitch, that that's actually one of the cast members of the Fred Sanford show. That's not original, bitch. Okay? That was during the time probably when your mama was out here sucking dick for crack rocks, so you wouldn't know that. That's not original. Neither is Mr. Magoo. You know what's original? A silver snatch senior motherfucking citizen. That's original. You know what's original and creative? Geriatric Goon, bitch. Get into it. So I'm going to need you to find the definition of original and then define it. I just thought that was interesting. The bitch can't find a man of hers that was originally hers. You laid up with hand-me-down niggas. And nonetheless, you want to teach me something about originality? And at the end of the day, bitch, the only thing you've done the entire time you've been in the sector is stink it up. That's it. As far as the ratchet bitch, you want to be the ratchet bitch of the sector? Be the ratchet bitch of the sector, bitch. You know why? Because you can't be anything else, bitch. You can't be anything else. You're actually doomed. Because unlike a lot of the other content creators that you took a fucking shot at, bitch, we actually have the ability to beef, roast, drag, read, and do content, bitch. You're doomed to a beef and drama channel as the messy bitch that you are. That's all you can do. So upgrade your fucking creativity and your fucking originality. When did you start talking about having church on a Saturday, bitch? Oh, I don't know. Perhaps after I started my savage Sunday sermons. So since we're always biting off of what you do, I figured that I would put that disclaimer in my show notes and bite off of you being a fucking hypocrite. Because make no mistake about it, bitch, the only reason why you wasn't over there eating ZX's ass is because you were called out on it. On you being a flip-flopper. And a bitch that's the dick ride. Because if you didn't have any intention on dick riding or dick eating or eating any ass, you know what? You probably wouldn't have been in this comment section at all. You wouldn't have dropped out the clouds, and I wouldn't have had the opportunity to catch the screenshot of you making it a point to say something in reference to me calling Sugar narcissist that I know I said in a text message to Bella, or something about narc rage. So because you haven't seen all of those messages and the way that y'all think I'm going to go about breaking down those messages and the audio I have of both Bella and ZX, it's not going to happen that way. It's going to be in pre-recorded content with me breaking down the different manipulations. I have almost $400 worth of editing software that I'm not even using. See, one of the things I realize is that, little irrelevant bitches like Bella, they're not here to do any building. You can't build anything with bullshitters, first and foremost. You, my dear, are a bullshitter, not a builder. And moreover, you don't have a fucking backbone. That's required to be a builder. You can't be a ball shellacker, right? And a builder at the same time. It just doesn't work. We don't have that whole penis privilege thing going on. So at the end of the day, who actually has originality and creativity? Well, we're going to find that out. And we're going to find out who's doomed indefinitely to being a beefing channel. Bitch, if your channel had the ability to skyrocket, it would have done that after you left Tommy Sotomayor. How long since then have you had the opportunity to do that? I've been disassociated from the divestment community, although some of those women still come over here to my space and I still go in certain content creator spaces. What qualifies you to be as if you're some fucking vet for the sector? You don't speak for the fucking sector. You're just the biggest dick sucker, female wise, the biggest dick sucker and the biggest dick sucker and the biggest dick writer in the sector. Okay? That's what makes you stand out from the rest. You're the pussy of the sector. That's what makes you stand out. You don't have a backbone. But I did peep the deflection. You know what else was interesting? She woke up and she started talking about, I got to teach you motherfuckers how to brush your teeth. Well, maybe you should teach us how to brush your teeth after you actually get your funky motherfucking ass up out of the bed, right? And actually brush your teeth and wash your ass. Because the first thing you did when you woke up is reach for your cell phone and then hit the live button to tell us that we need to learn how to wash our teeth, brush our teeth rather, and wash our ass. And I just found that quite interesting. Without your teeth being brushed or your ass being washed. Give me 1 second, y'all. Now, on tomorrow, what I'm going to be doing is, because I didn't get through all of those text messages, whatever I can give y'all in the 2 hours, basically 2 hours or less. It may not even be a full 2 hours. Whatever I can give you live in 2 hours, that's what it's going to be. One of the things that becomes necessary when you have people do things like invite you to their panel or throw out things like hit the link. See, it's like a catch-22 situation. If they drop the link and you don't hit the link, then you're a pussy because you don't want to hit the link. When they call and make intro songs like, twiddly dumb over there, right? When you don't hit the link, then you're a pussy. Even though I've gone over there plenty of times and I still wasn't allowed on the panel, despite an intro song talking about hit the fucking link. But when they do allow you on the fucking panel, you have to deal with shit like fucking ambushes and deflection and being booted on and off of the panel, taken in, all of that type of dumb shit. You're not actually able to have a fucking conversation. And then you get accused, moreover, of fucking clout chasing. So I want everybody to understand that I'm not doing any more panels. If an individual doesn't email me or send me a text message to that call-in number in advance, I'm not going on anybody else's panel. That allows them to have the opportunity to come back and paint this narrative that they somehow made you, or there was something that they had to be gained from you. Even when you already have an established platform, even when you already are pretty, fairly known in the sector, you run the risk of motherfuckers putting out that type of narrative. So I want everybody to know in advance, I'm not going on anybody's panel unless it's by invite and I have a written request via text or via email to appear on that panel, and I have to know the topic in advance. If you look at the show notes of this particular live stream, you'll see where my new channel is. That's going to be upload and premiere only until I reach my my goal for that channel. And let me see what else I had in mind. What else I was thinking. my thought slipped my mind. But anyway, yeah. So you have to since we're biting, let's see how long it takes before I just decided that since I'm always copying off of Lady La, or that was the sub that was thrown, or we're copying off of her. Let's see how long it takes for these hypocrites to copy and paste the disclaimer that I have in my show notes. I just felt like being a hypocrite today, since I was called a hypocrite any fucking way. Okay. But yeah, there's definitely going to be some changes, because the one thing that stuck out to me in a lot of this shit was the plotting and the scheming and the manipulation on the back end of other content creators trying to be able to anticipate. So instead of it being London bridges falling down, which is that original? Instead of it being London bridges falling down, I decided to be original with saying that, how about lessons learned in 2021? That's why you see that disclaimer there. And that's how I'm going to be handling things going forward without any exceptions. So don't let anybody tell you, oh, well, she's not going to hit the link because she's scared. No, I'm not hitting the fucking link because the bitch won't have an opportunity to come back and rewrite history and accuse me of clout chasing. Period. Or, and here's the reason why it's a double-edged sword, because I actually like to support other content creators and go support their channel so they can actually have a lit panel. I actually like to drop out of the clouds and show other content creators support, because sometimes you'll hear content creators say, well, they don't really fuck with you like that because they're never in your chat. But that sometimes turns into a sense of entitlement or obligation, that you're there for every fucking live stream, that you're there for every panel, that you pull up every time they go live. So it's not even, it doesn't even seem like it's even possible to be. I would just rather stay in the clouds. That's the purpose of me providing the phone number, the call-in number, or the text number, as it relates to content. And the new email address, there isn't a new email address. I've had it for quite some time. It's the Cookie Monster Memoirs at gmail.com. For anybody that is interested in doing collaborations, just send me, shoot me an email about what the topic is about, the date and the time of the live stream, and if I'm able to make it, if it's a topic that I'm interested in or I'm knowledgeable in, I'll once I get that written request, then I can do that. But as far as going to anybody else's panel, okay, well, again, did you see the hashtag Mark Lowther? This was a dick writing free zone. Okay, mods, don't allow anybody to come into the chat, and this is the reason why I'm not going to take anybody's wrench, because for the most part, I don't feel the mods have done anything egregious that will rise to me taking wrenches. Now, in the past, I have taken all wrenches at the same time. I'm not going to do that, because I don't believe that the mods have done anything that will warrant me taking anybody's wrench. But what I don't like to see is that when I watch the playback of the live stream, I don't want to see comments still in gray when there were moderators present for the live stream. So I'm going to be paying attention. If I don't catch something as the stream is going, I'm going to catch it on the playback. Okay. So I made some note. I wrote some notes because there was a couple of things that jumped out. Like I said, as I listened to and to the individual that sent me the audio soundbite, I appreciate that. That's going to be a part of what I break down on Sunday, in addition to the text messages from Bella. And I'm going to start using names other than that individual's name. That goes for everybody across the board. That always gives them the ability to be able to say, I'm kind of like a person. I don't do subliminals because sometimes it confuses people. But I feel like the people that are supposed to be able to interpret what it is that you're saying or who you're talking about will get the gist of it. If they want to put my name in titles, they can have at it. At the end of the day, I look at them as free promoters. Promotion, advertisement without me paying a red cent for it. But as far as the other thing I want you all to understand, as far as getting into the back into, and I thought it was ironic that she mentioned something about this dude being a fucking pimp, the geriatric goon, because that's what I said. That he was, it's like trying to get away from an abusive pimp. Because when I look around, what I see all over this sector is the exploitation of Black women. That's what I see. And I'll get into how I see that and what I really see, since everybody wants to, they would have you start calling out things that you see. Hopefully at the end of the day, over the next 90 days, everybody is satisfied with what they asked for. Because when it comes to calling things out, herein lies the problem. You don't get to dictate what I call out or what I see. Again, like I said, that's the hypocrisy. I want you to see this in this individual because I don't like them. However, overlook and turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to everything I say and do. Aries, you social media harlot, where have you been? I missed you, Aries. Aries is a social media harlot. Where have you been at, Aries? Chat. Don't tell me that they better not have turned you into no chat room. I saw you yesterday, but where have you? They better not. Let me find out that you were around here chat room concubining. That heinous harlotry will be stricken from the record. Hey, fashionista. Hey, Jen, Monica. But I see like this I don't want to get into. There's certain things that I'm going to, like I said, I have $400 worth of damn software, video editing software that I'm not even using. And one thing I was able to discern from listening to a lot of this bullshit, going back and just looking over the text, looking over different text messages and listening to different recordings, is the amount of manipulation. But when you do pre-recorded content, even if you do, I'm not certain if I'm going to live stream and then basically share the video as I'm live streaming. I'm not certain if I'm going to do it that way. It's unfortunate that you can't even share your ideas. You just pretty much have to do what I'm going to be doing with my new channel. I'll let you all, you'll see that when I start doing uploads and premieres on that channel. So you can't even do that, because they'll steal your intellectual property and then tell you that you have no creativity and no originality after they've stolen your concepts. Hey, Joy. Hey, just Jess. So I listened to Jazzy. I went looking for that video of Jazzy played a video last night of Claudiva and ZX. And I just thought it was interesting because that wasn't a video. That was actually an audio recording. And I had almost forgotten about that because there was so many other things going on. So I listened to a couple. I got a little tied up yesterday, but I did have a chance to listen to a couple of streams. Okay, now I'm not the type of I'm not the type of channel. If I watch somebody, I watch them. If I listen to them, I listen to them. Okay. Sometimes I'll occasionally listen into what my ops are saying, because if I don't, they'll try to get something off. And sometimes your people can interpret that to mean that that was something that they said or did. That's the problem with the back and forth. Because your people can actually interpret that to mean, well, they must have did it. They must be right, because they're not responding. No, the thing that's important to understand about certain archetypes of people is that it's never ending. It's like trying to get away from an abuser. It doesn't matter what the gender is. You have to stop allowing the gender to disarm you. Predators come in both genders. And you have to take the bait to go. That's what, when you think about those recordings, that's what that was a lot of. Baiting and positioning, posturing. If I do this, if I say this, and always consider it a huge red flag anytime somebody is attempting to get you isolated. How do you do that on YouTube? By saying, let me hit you up on the back end, or I need to speak to you behind the scenes. So last night, a couple of the people I watched Tracy. I watched, who else did I watch? I watched Tracy. I watched Jazzy. Somebody else I watched. And I watched Cynthia Rose. And it's not that certain things didn't cross my mind before, but I think listening to the audio recordings and stuff like that with my earphones on, and like really just with it being completely quiet, sometimes that's why it's better to do either pre-recorded content or actually have invested some time into your content before you just hit the live button. Because a lot of times people go live because they're triggered. They hear something, they get triggered, and they go live. You really haven't had the time to process what you're responding to. So a lot of times you're reacting, and that's kind of like what they bank on. They bank on your reaction. They get a rise out of your reaction. They get a rise out of fucking triggering you into fucking reacting. And sometimes the most important points that you want to make, it goes completely, you may forget it. You get so sidetracked, you may forget it. You're actually supposed to be interacting with the chat as the chat is going. Because sometimes there are important points made in the chat, people in the chat that you may miss, especially if you're going off on a rant. Now, I get the gist that we're human. It's that type of shit happens. But one thing I'm going to say, and Cynthia did some excellent commentary last night on Charlemagne the God. And I remember as I'm watching the chat, I'm saying, where is this dude at? Now, I didn't watch the stream in its entirety, but I want to say I watched maybe about 45 minutes of it before I fell asleep. And I think I stopped at the part where it was the victim. The victim was giving commentary on the details or the specifics of what actually happened. But I know up until the time that I went to sleep, because I had been up ripping and running all day, so I was a little bit tired. Up until the time that I fell asleep, I did not see that geriatric gangbanger come into that chat room. Because where his ass should have been is he should have been in that damn chat room Likewise, everybody else that supports Grown Folks TV the same goddamn way, he was front and center in Firebase's chat. And when I look back in retrospect, I see what transpired between him and Jazzy. Completely different. Not completely different. Because at that time, initially, seemingly, he had some compassion or had some he came with the fake father figure bullshit. And I see that as fucking manipulation, because in retrospect, you had people thinking that Jazzy manipulated you. And keep in mind, Jazzy and Cynthia are ops, right? But and that's their business. They're two grown-ass women. Okay. A lot of women, you may deal with a lot of people that may be ops. Okay. You don't have to stick your nose in it or take a position either way. And don't let anybody bully you or try to intimidate you into fucking picking a side. If you like both people, you like both people. Just don't get caught up or entrapped into, don't allow anybody to entrap you into speaking negatively about the other person, especially if you don't have an issue with them. Okay. Because this dude is the master at triangulation, and I don't like that. And I know that he does that with other women, but I think where he manipulated, and they're both, you're talking about intelligent women, you're not talking about dumb women. Okay. Where he manipulated Cynthia, and this is just my opinion, it doesn't make it the damn law in all 50 states, is that I think he led Cynthia to believe that he was doing what he was doing as a father figure because he wanted to help. So I think it's possible Cynthia could have looked at that as, well, you don't know you don't know how she is. And, and he played right into that. But what was evident in listening to that audio recording of him, Intrinsic Love, and Bella Amore is that not only are they all master manipulators, it was the plotting and the scheming and the strategizing for me. He never had any intention. His sole purpose. Here's my question. Why wasn't Nikki Baker present for any of those conversations that he had with Jazzy? If he never trusted Jazzy and she was so untrustworthy, why wasn't Nikki Baker there for those recordings? Why wasn't there a third party there to listen to those recordings? Why was it ZX recording Jazzy by herself? Especially if he was talking to her about intimate details of a relationship with her and Buddy Lee. Why wouldn't Nikki Baker have been there for that? And it's my opinion that had there been a woman there, that wouldn't have come off as very fatherly. Not only would it not have come off as very fatherly, but inappropriate. Because it would have been evident as it was to any damn body. Okay, you was and he did what? Well, guess what, bitch? You aren't saying anything, so we don't believe you. You need more people. Bye, bitch. And now that you popped into the chat room, Nikki Pope, right? You know what else was interesting? When we heard that audio of her and Claudiva, it gives you some inclination as to what is probably going on with him and Nikki Baker and why there would be this undying loyalty to a man that she's never met before. So Shout out to Jazzy G for giving us not only that commentary, but that beautiful beam footage of what ZX was doing on the phone with Clyde Diva. And we know it's him. No young man is going to be, that sounds just like some old, out of breath, out of shape ass nigga. Pumping. Young men very seldom do a whole bunch of talking during sex. If they do, it's a certain type of talking. Okay? It's more them, y'all know what I'm talking about. This ain't that type of stream. Okay? But all of that oohing and ahhing and grunting and, younger men usually don't do that. Even when they are about to have an orgasm, they usually don't do that. So we know now what, the project chick and what Nikki Baker does with ZX on the back end. So she wanted to make it a point to come in here and say that you were there. Well, guess what, bitch? We didn't hear you talking. So as far as we're concerned, you're lying for him just like you usually do. Now go run along and work for free, bitch. Because your labor is the only thing that's free around these parts. See, the other thing that I got to thinking about was the fact that when it comes to people like Cynthia Rose and Jazzy G and certain, people like Fabe, people like Tracy, these are actually Black women that have basically paid dues on this platform. Like they've been down in the trenches. They've put work in. The person that hasn't is this dude. That was something else that jumped out. That he is the one that hasn't put any work in. So what he's done is strategically attach himself to Black women in this sector or any other sector that allows him entrance. He attaches himself like a pimp to Black women that have put in work, that have paid dues on this platform, that have put in a lot of work, whether it's to build their rapport with other content creators, build their reputation, or to establish a reputation, good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. And that's not by accident. Has anybody ever considered why this dude does? First of all, he's not going to do any building because he's a bullshitter, and bullshitters don't build. Has anybody ever asked the reason why, if he's actually a builder, why he doesn't do any building with other Black males that are builders? Why is there this interest? And that's almost going to be like a red flag for somebody that's a bullshitter as opposed to a builder. Has anybody ever considered why these men don't do, why they prefer to blow smoke up the asses of the women, but they can't seem to get along with other guys? They're always finding something wrong with the men. There's always, they're going to say that they're haters, they're this, they're that, and the other. That's because they're basically virtually biting each other's dicks off. They want access to the women and to the women's platforms so that they can manipulate them. Men should be able to build with other men. How many male content creators in this sector do you have that have platforms that would benefit from having healthy commentary with other men, healthy conversations with other men in the sector, as opposed to going to women's platforms? That's not by coincidence either. So I said what I said. He should have had his old ass in Cynthia's chat, because she can roast, but she also does amazing commentary. And the same way how he rolled his geriatric gangbanging ass up on Firebase chat, rolling all around with the emojis, even though that was a those were late night streams. The same way how he knew how to go over there to Miss Olivia's chat, the same way that he was in Pastor Wilson's chat, including all of the individuals that were under the different troll accounts. Cynthia was in that account under her account. She was in Pastor Wilson's chat under her account. He should have had his ass in her chat to support when she was doing actual commentary that was actually excellent. The same way he had his ass over there in Firebase chat, clout chasing. Because unlike him, Cynthia has paid dues on this platform. As a Black woman, that's just the fact of the matter. Okay? And I'm not going to dwell too much on that. I said what I said. Hey, Suge, did you get my birthday gift? Hey, Kels. Hey, Moody. Yeah. So yeah, Jazzy, Moody, what happened to that video? Jazzy put it on private. Y'all gotta send me the link to that, because listen, I'm gonna break that down, because I'm sorry, not sorry. If Clyde is telling the truth, if Clyde is a credible source, listen, that was. And then the other thing that came out was the fact that Clyde had put pictures of ZX out with a dildo up his ass. So I thought that was interesting. I'm like, get into it. Hey, indie girl. Shook, I need that. I need that. Okay. Yeah, check you. Yeah, check. Listen, I sent you something lovely yesterday after my stream ended. Check your cash app. Oh shit. I'm sorry, y'all. That's my notepad. Check your cash app. Hey, Star Baby. Yeah, so I thought, oh, y'all, when y'all see, listen, we got some bitches that got some explaining to do around these parts. See, we done got some bitches that done lied about their baby daddies. They all had, listen, anybody that comes in here with that hard body cape, and just go ahead on and kick them out. That's one of them goddamn retarded ass, goddamn geriatric, wannabe goddamn Griselda Blanco and ass bitches. Okay? Happy birthday. I thought you seen it. Yes, I thought you seen it yesterday. But you know, I know sometimes you might forget to check. I forget to check mine all the time. So forgive me if I forget to check a darn cash app, y'all. Please forgive me. I will acknowledge it when I see it. You know, y'all be loving on me sometimes, and I'll be like, God damn, I didn't even know that this person was in the damn chat. But then, you know, and I also have a lot of silent supporters that watch from the clouds. So shout out to them. You know, but I want the sisters to start, you know, that was something that was evident to me as far as the manipulation is concerned, and that he never had any genuine intent. He was a disloyal bitch too, because when Cynthia when Cynthia, out of loyalty to him, basically took that wrench from Tommy, Soto Nation would have came after her channel. She could have lost her channel for that, because that's the type of shit that they do. So what else became evident to me is that although he talked about his loyalty, I don't give a fuck what I said in the audio. What I know for a certainty is that you weren't loyal to anybody. You're not loyal to anybody, and that would include Cynthia. Because the truth of the matter is, when looking back in retrospect, in order to be able to get, you always look at the intent, or at least I always look at what the end goal is. What is the end goal? What's the end game? Is it to help or is it to harm? And is it to cause inevitable harm or harm that the person can't come back from? And every time, it doesn't matter, because I try to listen, openly and objectively, but every fucking time, whether it's Candy, whether it's Lady La, whether it's Clyde, or whether it's ZX, I always come back to that same fucking question. That same question. What was the goal? What was the end game? And it was to hurt, to cause inevitable fucking harm. That was his intent. It was never his intent to help. It was never his intent to provide genuine support. It was to get her to lower down her defenses, to trust him or to believe that he was trustworthy, and he was willing to be disloyal to his own fucking people if it would get him closer to Jazzy, to be able to get information for his benefit, for the benefit of his channel, so he could have content, so he could be the one with certain exclusive information, just like we heard in that audio with him, Bella, and Intrinsic. It's the plotting and the scheming for me. And the other thing, Lady La, did y'all hear her when she said in her live stream, for those of you that watched her live stream, did you hear her say, I tried to tell y'all about these people? So let me get this right. You mean to tell me that before I went off on you and Candy, you were talking shit about me, although you've been out here for the last month or so claiming that you didn't have any problems with me? You didn't have any beef with me? Do you mean to tell me you were on the back end and behind the scenes talking shit about me to other people? Telling other people not to fuck with me, not to align themselves with me? See, bitch, the more you keep talking, the more dumb we get the gist that you really are. Which is why you'll always be a fucking liability, because you talk without thinking. Maybe had you got your funky ass up out of the bed from under the sheets, okay? Went in the bathroom, took a shower, washed your ass, and brushed your teeth, maybe you would have had time to think, instead of opening your fucking mouth without talking. Because what you're actually admitting to is that you were talking shit about me, although you've been out here pleading your case to people, pleading your case to we the YouTube streets. That, oh, I didn't have no problem with Cookie. I didn't have no problem. We got along. She came to my parents. Okay, so when were you behind the scenes on the back end telling people not to fuck with me, bitch? The other thing that went over your head, stupid bitch, it wasn't to be complimentary, and it wasn't to bite off of something that you did in your title, stupid bitch. It was to point out the fact that Candy and you were a fucking hypocrite. Because while her stepson was murdered last month in Chicago, she's running around YouTube preoccupied with what's going on in somebody else's life. Was that something that was foreseeable? Could not that time and energy that was invested in a woman that she only knows from the internet been better spent with her stepson, considering the fact that she's still fucking his father? Considering the fact that Lady La just said the last time I was on her fucking panel with her and Candy, that this dude's dad, this boy's dad, because he's a boy to me, I have kids his age, she's still fucking his father. And the threat was put out there that he would do something to me on Candy's behalf. Why wasn't he acting in the capacity of a fucking dad and investing that type of time and energy into his fucking son? While she's running around the fucking, that's where there's smoke, there's fire comes from, dumb bitch. It had nothing to do with stealing your title or biting off of you. It was to point out the blatant hypocrisy. Just like you went live for damn near a fucking hour and you made no fucking mention of the fact that Candy's stepson was killed in Chicago last month. That's what it was to point out. Well, is she the only one that's the victim of domestic violence? Well, you know, that's interesting. What about his father? There's lots of things that he learned from his father. You know, with her being, you know, mommy of the year and all. Or I'm sorry, I should say lifetime mom, getting the lifetime mommy award. Because here's, when I get to, I'm gonna get, don't worry. Like I told you, everything I got, what I can give you in 2 hours or less, I'm not going to stay up here longer than that. What I can give you in 2 hours or less, the rest is going to be done tomorrow in a pre-recorded stream. I'm going to start using this damn, and please do not use that call-in number. Please read the description and the disclaimer in detail, right? As well as before you contact me via email. Don't send me any links. I don't give a shit what anybody is saying. Okay? I have enough sound bites, enough audio. I have enough text messages, enough written correspondence to do content for the next 3 months. That's the whole point. You have to stop playing the game. With them, the game never ends. And that's what should be evident. It's like a game of thoughts. It's like the YouTube version of the Game of Thrones. They're sitting around, and ask yourself, if somebody that really had creativity and originality and the ability to create content, even if they were just a professional roaster or all of their commentary was satirical. I enjoy, I'm not going to sit and watch hours and hours. If I'm not there during that live stream, I generally don't watch long, lengthy live streams like that. So I actually enjoy watching other, you know, the other people, especially like the ones in the beef sector that do commentary on other content creators. So that way, when whatever video it is or whatever live stream they're referring to, I'll go after I hear their commentary and listen to it for myself to see if I get the same, you know, if I pick up the same thing from what their interpretation was. But I just don't have the patience to do that. So when a person is reporting on something, I like for it to be accurate information. Now, if it's a person that's known for just putting out anything, and if they make a mistake, they don't even go back and clarify what the mistake was, then that's not a credible source to me to go to for tea, even as far as the YouTube streets. Okay. So, hey, Paul. So yeah, you know, okay, yeah, that was kind of like what I was, you know, what I was talking about. You know, it was to point out the hypocrisy. That's why I said where there's smoke, there's fire. Because I was trying to understand why, if your stepson was murdered in Chicago last month, why would you be online? Where would you get the energy? There was no mourning, there was no nothing. And she isn't the only one that has familial issues. Claudiva would be another. Claudiva, do you have any idea why your younger sister would be needing to file domestic violence orders against somebody, whether that's your brother or whether that's her husband? And we're not talking about stuff that occurred a long, long time ago. For those of you that didn't see yesterday, didn't see the video yesterday, didn't see the video that I did yesterday, or didn't see, it's a relatively short stream. Okay. This is Candy's stepson, who was murdered in Chicago last month. And the father just last month was on ZX's panel pulling out a weapon. That's a part of the screenshots that I have to pixelate that okay. Anybody that comes into this chat, type in ZX's name, get him up out of here. Delete the not only delete the comment, but hide the user. Go do your caping someplace else. Okay? So when she goes live today to talk, it's you don't feel, you're going to comment about somebody else. You're going to talk about somebody else. You saw everything else. You saw the title. So if you saw the title, then that means that you watched the live stream 9 times out of 10. And you didn't have anything to say about that. You just go live and just deflect. And I just thought that was interesting, because that's kind of like what I told Jazzy to do, to go live and just ignore. That you don't feel obligated to answer anybody's fucking questions. You listen, since we're copying off of what Lady Lie does, follow Lady Lie's lead. Go live and talk about something completely different. When they're asking about your children, when they're inquiring about your personal business, go live and act like you don't hear what they're saying. Act like you didn't see the live stream. Since we're copying everything Lady Lie does any fucking way, let's copy her fucking hypocrisy. ZX isn't answering to why the fact he has a fucking lien on his fucking property, and why he has a $4,000 gas bill, why his gas has been cut off and terminated, right? No. We're not talking about a long time ago. We're talking about last month. We're talking about a current mortgage foreclosure. You see how they go live and they don't answer that? They start deflecting and start talking about other things and all of this other bullshit. Follow their lead as far as that's concerned when it comes to your commentary. Because see, what they're banking on when they're saying things like, London bridges is falling down, what they're banking on is that they've already clocked and contemplated what our next move is going to be. I don't allow anybody to clock me. If you think you can, then have at it. So no, it wouldn't be London bridges falling down. It would be lessons learned in 2021. And a lot of times what they bank on, I'm not talking about trolling that's, just trolls that are just kind of like annoying. It's more like a mosquito or a fly buzzing around your ear, as opposed to a troll that becomes terroristic. A damn terroristic troll. When you're doing things, and oh, the fucking irony, those will be those will be the hit dogs that will holler the loudest when you start paying them back in kind. Has anybody asked him, well, why did you send Cookie's information to Amina? Why did you do that? And you did that months before. Why were you doing that? If you were going to do something, if you were going to file criminal charges or whatever it was that you were going to do, why didn't he do it then? What was the purpose in the procrastination? Why would you wait months and months and months? Why didn't you do that then? With that information instead of providing it to another YouTuber? Why did you do that? And then come back and play victim. When after you went on ahead and doxed me publicly, and then I doxed you back, then you're the victim. So they'll go live and talk about something else. Go live and talk about something else. I don't care. I don't care. She gave Shook $3,000 for dick. What's the big deal? She gave Ice Coleon $1,800 for nothing. Were you as concerned then? Were you as concerned then? Were you going around trolling different chat rooms then? Call the feds like you do for everything else. She did that. Call the feds like you do for everything else. Go file a goddamn police report and get the fuck on. Go over there and call the feds and call the police like you do for everything else. What do you expect me to do? I'm the jail bitch. I'm the felon, the jail bitch. What do they call it? The felon, the jail bitch? Okay, well, what the fuck are you telling me about criminal activity for? I'm the criminal. You're coming over here to the criminal expecting me to be moral? Oh, the fucking irony. That's interesting. So that was the point. And like I said, the whole deflection thing, this is a person that was just on a damn panel, ranting and raving to goddamn high heaven. Okay. About, ranting and raving to goddamn high heaven about somebody else's children. Okay. Well, what about the children that are directly connected to her? What about things like this? No comment on that. Because if I'm a jail bitch, then what is Candy's stepson? What is he? If me and my sons are the criminals, what is Candy's son? She's mom of the she's mom of the century, right? Mom of the decade. She wants the lifetime. I have to get me one of those little lifetime mother award things. We have all of these goddamn, Stepford wives around this bitch. Cyber Stepford wives. And they're cyber Stepford wives because they're better wives and better mates and companions than they are to their real life husbands and to their real life men. They're better mates to men that are on the internet that they've never met. And if that audio that we heard on Jazzy's channel with ZX beating his dick to Claudiva as she was recording it, if that's now we have our answer. It makes perfect sense now. It certainly does. Okay. I know she didn't should. They never give they never give Well, you won't have to worry about her beauty for much longer, because nothing dries you up faster than alcohol. Alcohol dries you up very quickly, and it ages you in dog years. So again, like all of this energy and all of this effort that's put into somebody else's children that's on the internet, why don't they do that with their own children? Okay, these are not old offenses. This is an offense from March the 6th of 2021. This is an offense from February of 2021, and it's domestic battery that caused bodily harm. In November the 23rd of 2020, driving under the influence of a drug. In May 14th of 2019, there was a warrant issued. In March of 2019, there was another domestic battery charge. In March the 3rd of 2018, there was another battery where physical contact was made. So I'm just interested in why is it that these people are able to be so goddamn invested on somebody online's children. Okay. That's Candy Manning's stepson that was killed last month in Chicago. Why aren't they that heavily invested in their own families? The other thing that I thought was quite interesting is they actually must have a really odd relationship, because you know what? She's talking about baby daddies, but nonetheless, you're in this love-hate, toxic Ike Tina Turner type of relationship with a dude that has how many baby mamas? Oh, and I found them. I don't fall asleep on the job. I leave that to you bitches to fall asleep on post. How many baby mamas does Mr. Dupart have? See, when you went around on these different panels showing pictures of the father of my children, attacking the father of my children about having an honest job, earning an honest living, you should have thought about that. So this dude has about 3 or 4 different baby mamas. And you want to know what else is interesting? The restraining order that the baby mama was issued. But these are bitches that have time to sit around and do nothing else but stalk other women online and critique them about their parenting and about their lifestyle and about, their imperfections. Do we get the gist that there's dysfunction that occurs in Black families? But of course we do. Okay. The problem is when you don't focus on the dysfunction that you have going on in your own goddamn family. Okay. And then you get up here and do shit like make fun of me, make fun of Jazzy, and want to play in our traumas when we're open and candid about the dysfunction in our families. What say you about this? Mm-hmm. And I have yet to go through the other states. but I intend to get to it. And you can see right there that there was domestic violence because there's a protection order being issued. So why aren't these people invested like this in their own fucking families? So is anybody surprised that Candy would be with a dude, or there will be audio circulating around like that on Scorpio Sting's channel? Where what is that dude's name? It's not Black in Japan. What is that dude's name? The Art of War, where the Art of War is playing audio of Candy and Mr. Dupart arguing, and she's talking about him running her over with a car. Are we surprised that that would happen? Are we surprised that his son would be engaged in domestic violence? If you stop watching it, stop pocket watching. Okay? Stop pocket watching. Go over there, Ebony Man 2K, and beg people to go to your channel like you usually do and watch your boring, dull videos. Do that. You don't get to come in my chat and determine who donates to me. Worry about getting more than 10 views on your videos. Now go run along. Or go over there in the viper pit and get bit up by the snakes. Or something to that effect. Hey, Alnighty. And that's a prime example of the sick psychotic shit that I'm talking about. But everybody is living their best motherfucking life. But these motherfuckers got time to go create troll account after troll account after troll account and follow your motherfucking ass every motherfucking where you go. Listen, and if you're not careful, you can get locked into beefing just like that. Because listen, you can go someplace else, right? And say, well, listen, I'm going to try to start, to stay on task, to not feed into the bullshit, to not take the beef bait, and just focus on my content. And these dickheads will follow you every fucking chat room you go to, every panel you go to. But everybody is living their best fucking life. Everybody is happy. Everybody is good. Everybody eating shrimps, lobsters. They got motherfucking scallops, motherfucking Alaskan crab legs. Bitches is eating corn on the cob, buttered goddamn broccoli, all of this here shit. Roast red, not just regular potatoes, red roasted motherfucking potatoes. They doing all of this here shit. They drinking the best of motherfucking wine. Motherfuckers is sipping Don Perignon, all this shit like this. But motherfuckers got time to create 1,000 goddamn troll accounts and follow other motherfuckers around from chat room to chat room, fucking with people. And then when I go and start grabbing wrenches and ramming wrenches up assholes, cracking over skulls with motherfucking wrenches, then I'm a crazy bitch. I'm a psychopath then. If it's not the fuck about them, they gonna come in the chat and make it about them. Bitch, you're not welcome here. The only goddamn dick eater in the sector is your Lord and fucking master. You're not welcome here. I don't give a fuck about what you're talking about. I don't even want none of y'all weirdo ass motherfuckers over there. Okay? Stay your weird ass the fuck over there. If you come in peace, you're welcome. But don't come in here with that dick riding and dick eating shit. Okay? Hey, Chopper. I mean, like, where do they do? They walk in from the door. Didn't I tell you they don't come in, say hello? The proper thing. It's almost like they listen. It's almost like going to somebody's you in somebody's house, and you just sitting there on the motherfucking couch, and the motherfucker walk in the door and just unzip somebody's pants and just start sucking them off right there on the spot. You ain't said hello. You ain't said hi, sir, ma'am. How you doing? Nice to meet you. High Minds, High Chat, which is they just come in and just start unzipping. Listen, they pull out dicks and just start sucking and licking from the goddamn door. Random dicks and random clits. You not listen, it's a dick rider free motherfucking zone. It's a dick eating free zone. You're free to go over there to your Lord and whoever the fuck your cult leader is, hey Triple, whoever the fuck your cult leader is, save that dick sucking and that dick riding for your cult leader. Okay? Don't come in here with that bullshit, because I will get your raggedy ass all the way the fuck together. Okay? Hey, Al Natty. Hey, Miss Frida. Goddamn, it's ridiculous. I mean, can you that would be some crazy shit. That's can you just imagine you over somebody's house and visiting this shit, and you just kicking it, having a little time, laughing, talking, and a motherfucker just walk in the door. Listen, ain't knock on shit. Just turned the knob, came on in the motherfucking house, and just started pulling dicks out of motherfucking boxes, and just start sucking right there in front of you. That would make you. That's some weird shit. That's what these motherfuckers do. It's ridiculous. Listen, pun the fuck intended. Sheesh. Goodness grief. But this is the type of stuff that's going on. And, this is, like I said, do we get the gist that dysfunction goes on in Black families? We know that. We know that we have a lot of dysfunction that goes on in Black families. So that's not what the issue is. The problem is when you shame other people for their lack of a healthy support system, but yours is no better. I know I did not just I think I might have accidentally closed down that that particular window. But yes. So while Claudiva's sister is filing damn restraining orders against folks, and your sister actually shares a damn address with your sister shares the same address as your father. So I'm just interested in why do these people have so much goddamn time for what the fuck is going on online? And the other thing, Claudiva, is instead of you worrying about who Jazzy is fucking and all of this kind of stuff and which dude which baby father Jazzy is laid up with, why have you been running around here lying, telling folks that you got all kids by the same person? And why don't you just go ahead and tell folks what I meant when I said that your mama was a hoe? Because, see, you knew I was going to find your daddy. But didn't you tell us all that, all your kids had the same father? Well, no, they don't. They don't. You don't have the same father as your sister. So why did you get up here when I put that information out? Why did you get up here and lie about it? Were you embarrassed about the fact that there was a paternity request from the nigga that your mama told you was your daddy? Oh, see, and like I told you, bitch, I'm a master doxer. ZX, your pay is to sit back and learn from the master. Get in line, punk. Silence. Silence. Oh, they ain't gonna like this type of cheating shit. See, when you play that game with me, I'm gonna show you what a doxing is. And Lady Lie, your ass by no means will escape, bitch. Yeah. So I'm sorry. While your sister is dealing with domestic violence with Richard Gilmore, you're up here online in another bitch's goddamn business. As if you don't have your own goddamn family issues to fucking deal with, okay? And this was filed in 2020, in July of 2020, okay? It's in family court, and it's for a restraining order where you're that invested in helping your family member that's dealing with domestic violence as you are with Jazzy's children. Has she gotten out of that situation? Is she safe? That's the type of shit that I'm talking about. Be as invested in your own goddamn family. Know what's going on with your own goddamn family. While you up here online stalking and harassing a total stranger on the damn internet. Y'all do realize, and this is indicative of the goddamn mental illness, okay? This is indicative of a mental illness. And you keep talking about the people donating to felons, Eric 2000. Yeah, and sucking dick causes a sore jaw eventually. Your jaws can get sore from sucking dick, but nonetheless, there you are in my chat, just a gobbling away. Just lubricating your throat. Dick is all down your throat, right? Sucking dick causes sore jaws, but it didn't stop you from doing it. You come bring your ass right back in here. So again, while you have individuals in your damn family dealing with domestic violence, do you put that same type of energy and effort into what's going on with your own family? To the degree that you all do, Jazzy. You see how intrusive this is? You see what a violation it is to take personal, private things about somebody's family that are personal, that have to do with domestic violence, that have to do with sexual assault and those type of things, criminal. You see how invasive and intrusive that is? Imagine somebody doing that to you for as long as she's going through it. And then justifying why they're doing it. Oh, I'm doing it because I told you I was going to do it. When you allowed me to fucking be repeatedly, you allowed my family members to be doxxed from your platform. Listen, I'm wrapped the fuck out. And it's a couple of or more other motherfuckers on the docket that think that they escaped. But they didn't. I assure you that. They're just not as high up on the docket as your ass is or your ass says. Because I'm going to air your motherfucking asses out. Every last one of you that took part in my family being doxxed, I'm going to fuck what you do to me. When you started doxing my family, I'm going to get every last one of your motherfuckers. Every last one of you motherfuckers, not a single one of you going to escape. I'm going to skin you alive. Every last one of you that took part in it. Every last one of you motherfuckers that co-signed it. I'm going to skin your ass alive. I promise you that. I'm just not going to lose a damn channel. I'm not going to keep losing channels. I pay dues. Okay? Matter of fact, as far when it comes to dragging and roasting, far as dragging and damn roasting, that's going to be done on a Savage Syndicate only. Like my real savage type of roast. Mods, if y'all can drop the link to that channel, please. My real savage roast. I think I'm going to name it Savage Syndicate. Well, it's already said the Savage Syndicate, but I'm going to name it Savage Syndicate Uncensored. Where I just go live and just show my natural black motherfucking nigga ass. Where I become full-blooded nigga bitch. Hey, JV. Full-blooded nigga bitch. On 150. going 5150. But as far as my other channels, no. All of those titles with motherfuckers' names in it, I'm going back. All of that shit is going to be changed. Tags, all of that stuff. Who got blocked? Can somebody head key? Can somebody go unhide Champagne Key, please? Oh shit, that was me. God damn it. Can somebody unhide Champagne Key, please? Okay. I was trying to get somebody else. I'm sorry, Key. Yeah. But this, just to give you an idea of the type of shit that goes on in people's personal lives. And is it a violation? Yes, a violation. You think about how you would feel about your most personal family goddamn your shit that goes on with you and your goddamn family, or you having some type of family crisis. And because motherfuckers don't like you, they take and put your shit the fuck out there to fuck on YouTube. You would have a goddamn problem with it as well. Okay. Again, in this, here you have, nigga got 3-4 baby mamas, but they running around here talking. And I'm sorry, this is how many goddamn child support cases, or how many times does a nigga have to be taking the motherfucking child support? But motherfuckers is always this here. Again, this is a petition for a temporary protection order. In addition to the judge ordering a petition to establish parentage out of wedlock kids. Do we know that that's something that happened in the Black community? Yes. But when you're going around shaming somebody else for having children out of wedlock, or not being married, or, you know what I mean, making back, young people are going to make mistakes. Even if they have two good parents, sometimes they make mistakes because they lack the maturity and life experience to make better choices. It's usually due to experience that they stop making those mistakes. And you have to allow them those little learning curves. There's no reason for any goddamn body of a certain age to be doing the shit that a lot of these motherfuckers are doing. I'm disgusted by it. And then get up here and act like they don't have an agenda for why they're doing it. Well, you absolutely do. Why you up here talking about somebody having evictions? Well, guess what, Candy? Okay? Your man has an eviction on his record the fuck too. He has one too. Have you ever been sued? Go ahead and lie about it, bitch. The other thing that I need Candy to come clean about is I need you to come on and come clean about the fact that you've always been a rat, Candy. As a matter of fact, there was an individual that sued the Indiana Police Department because based on information, and I'm inclined to believe, because when I look at things in retrospect, I'm actually inclined to believe that what you did in all actuality is that you possibly could have intentionally given false information to the police that resulted in a young man being shot by the police. Based on you giving a description. So for all of you that believe that, Candy's so honorable and she's this ride or die, no, the bitch is a rat. Okay? And there's paperwork to support the bitch being a fucking rat. Just like that's a lawsuit filed against the bitch in December of 2019. So while you running all around this motherfucker, oh, you know, I don't give a fuck, whatever you thought you was hiding, whatever you thought wasn't gonna come, bitch, it's all gonna come out, ho. It's all gonna come out. I'm gonna get your ass for the old and for the new. And the more your bestie keep running her mouth, it's gonna get more complicated and the noose is gonna get tighter for you. Because what she said in that little live stream that she did earlier was basically admit that she been running around here and playing in folks' face lying for months. For the last month at least, telling people that she never had a problem with me. But in that stream, she can be heard saying that she was telling people or warning people about me. But when I called her out on the fact that both you and her have been taking shots at me, you both feign fucking ignorance. Which was not only an insult of my fucking intelligence, it was an insult of the intelligence of your fucking audience. When you admitted this morning that you have been talking shit about me, running around, making your rounds. And ZX was one of the fucking people that you talk shit to me about, bitch. While claiming you ain't have no problems. Like I said, you're a fake fugazi ass bitch. Who is it? Hold on. The mods, who is it? Who I'm looking at it from StreamYard, so I can't see where anybody is. Which of the mods have a because I'm streaming from, I believe, 7 different channels now. Which chat room are you in? So when you see comments like this, you shouldn't get you should really it gives you some insight into motherfuckers that are trying to point out somebody else's mental illness and somebody else that needs to get off of YouTube. No, those are the type of things where individuals believe that they're somehow going to trigger me. No, you're not going to trigger me because I'm still going to air your ass out. As a matter of fact, what I'll do, I'll make it a point in the next live stream is to turn up a little bit more. That's all that's going to happen. Okay? That's the type of shit. And they will call that trolling. That's not trolling. Because although I'm not affected by it, certainly there may be another woman in the chat that's triggered by it. So when I hop on panels and I act like a complete animal, a complete savage in full hyena Holy Ghost mode, that's why I don't apologize for the things that I say. Because I know the type of things that they do. And they don't have the cliticular or the testicular fortitude to come into the chat under their known username. So they do things like that, which I perceive to be cowardice. As far as I'm concerned, when you're talking about one individual, whether it's a man or whether it's a woman, I don't respect, and I don't think most savages respect, when it's a whole bunch of people, whether it's male or female, dogpiling one person. That's usually an act of cowardice. And like I told you, as I anticipated, they do this every time. Go run up and down the YouTube streets, knock on doors, banging cymbals together, on bullhorns, looking for all of my ops to come do what exactly? Something that they weren't able to do, that they've been trying to do years prior to you attempting to do it, perhaps. And I'm still here. Okay? It's called having a backbone. Get you some. The same way you get up here and brag about getting dick, get up here and brag about having some cliticular fortitude and then actually having the audacity to stand down on it. The easy thing to do, listen, if you wanted to talk about clout chasing, the easiest thing to do would be to jump on a bandwagon and go along with the flow. Only dead fish and Lady Lies pH pussy balance goes along with the flow. Nothing goes along with the flow but dead fish. Anything that's dead. Whichever way the current goes, that's the way it flows. So I'm certainly not I'm not surprised. Nor is my cage easily rattled that way. And that's the reason why it's necessary to spend less time on when it becomes necessary to spend less time online so that your cage isn't rattled. Because that's what they're actually anticipating. So, Claudiva, if your mama and your daddy were married, why are their last names different? And why is she suing another man for child support? That would be the question. If your mama and your daddy were married, and your mama wasn't a hoe that you openly denied, just like ZX denies that his mama was a hoe, even though the bitch was sucking dick at 14. And that was the baby boomer generation, even before hoeing was a trend. Talk about your trendsetters. Talk about your trendsetters. Well, that was a trend to set. Being a hoe as a baby boomer. They paved the way. That's why I never believe those them older self-righteous bitches when they get up here and they sit. See, a lot of these bitches are washed up. So they know that their pussy slinging days are over. And instead of them bowing out of the game gracefully, they have nothing else better to do than to sit around and plot and scheme and come up with all sort of machinations and evil, demonic shit to destroy the next generation. And that's what they do. The other thing that is important to understand is that a lot of times that you can have women that are just as, we know that when it comes to men, there may be like this this whole thing of misogynoir. And again, you can clearly see that this is a person that has an obsession with Princess X. Princess X is going to continue to be in my chat. I believe a sister is as a sister does. I'm not saying that she's my sister. I'm saying that until she does something otherwise, I see her as such. That's without any regard to color. The experiences that I've had with the snakery on this platform, there has not been a non-Black woman involved. Point blank, period. So I believe a sister is as a fucking sister does. You allow people to be people and treat them accordingly. So she's not going anywhere. She's not bothering anybody. You can't come over here and spread those she likes Tommy Sotomayor. I have lots of mods that were mods on Tommy's channel. What the fuck does they have to do with me? They know I don't fuck with them. Are they in my channel or in my chat room promoting him? So why the fuck would I care? These are grown ass women. I'm not running a prison. Okay? So no, you don't get to go run around with those narratives and she's this and she's that and she's this and okay, yeah. Well, you know, I also consider the source. That was one of the lessons that I learned, to not only to verify the damn source, to take the source into consideration, but to also take into consideration whether or not that person has an agenda, an ulterior motive. They're a seed planter, water carrier, bone carrier. What's their motive for bringing me that information about this person? Is it out of genuine care and concern? A lot of times it's not. The majority of the times it's not. So when it's said and done, each and every one of you little cunts that I told I was going to get back for allowing the father of my children to be doxxed from your platform or for engaging in doxing, I intend to do just that. Now, you told us that all of your children had the same father, Claudiva. Well, we can see right here that that's not the truth, because that's a petition for child support. At that time, your daughter, right? Your daughter would have still been a minor in 2013. Hell, for that matter, your oldest son would have still been a minor, eligible of collecting child support. So why is there just one child that's listed there as the minor? Where are the other children? And you told us that all of your children had, I know you constantly made reference to me shitting out 7 babies. Well, I don't know how you, where, you know, because your vagina is so very, you know, that volcano, that little bat cave that you call a coochie, maybe for some reason you weren't capable of passing children through your vaginal cavity. But I've had 7 vaginal births, ma'am. Thank you very much. Nothing, no babies came out of my asshole. So again, in 2013, we're now in what, 2021? If your oldest son is 2021. Okay, well, why in 2013, he would have been eligible to collect child support as well. Why is there only one child listed as a dependent minor in a child support case? Usually what happens when there's more than one child, they're all included and the father is taken to court for all of the children, not just one. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. This is this obsession with you know, this obsession with Princess X. Mods, anybody that's coming into the chat, Princess, I know you have a wrench on the other channels, the Nubian Narcissistic Abuse ICUC. When I stream y'all, I'm streaming from my StreamYards. Brandy, if anybody come into the chat, especially any of the vet mods, if anybody comes into the chat, JV, I'm not certain which channel you on, sis. If somebody comes into the chat talking reckless, get them up out of here from the rip. Attacking anybody in the chat, don't even time them out, just hide them. Make them go create a whole new account. It's ridiculous. And they do this, you know, we know how it feels because they do this when we go to other platforms. They converge on the chat room. And a lot of times that's what can keep you in those beefs like that, because you might believe that, okay, well, it's not going to do any good for me to actually try to get back to my content. No, that's exactly what they want, because they don't have the ability to do anything but beef. So they want to keep you with that crab in the barrel mentality, interacting with them as far as beef. Beef when you want to, beef when it's feasible, and beef when it's beneficial. Okay? You don't beef just for the sake of beefing. Beef when it's beneficial. Don't beef to the point that you losing channel after channel after channel after channel. No, don't. No. That's what they want. They want you to lose some shit that they can't build themselves. Here it is again. Here's another goddamn child support court. Here's another child support case. And I'm just interested, Candy. In 2018, you weren't with your man. He done went out and got another bitch pregnant. Y'all been together for how many damn years? And this is the second baby mama. And no, that's not his son. Unlike you all, I do my research. That's his daddy's middle initial. So the nigga had a baby on you. See, it's the domestic violence, having babies, running folks over with cars, and they call me a criminal. I ain't never ran nobody over with a car. Okay? The other thing that was interesting is I went through the different photographs of the young man that was murdered last month in Chicago, is that I was looking for, you would think that when you're talking about, and y'all, as far as the Bella Amore, I'm sorry, before I forget, Candy, you also had to take a Negro to child support court too, didn't you? Yes. Listen, y'all, the beacon of motherhood. The beacon. Oh, listen, y'all. I'm gonna do y'all just like you did Jazzy. You got 24 hours to come out and confess all your sins. If you committed any sin, now is the time that you might want to admit it, bitch. Get into it. Because if you don't, I'ma air it the fuck out, bitch. And I ain't even begun. This is just a preamble. I guess that's one of the benefits of being formerly a drug dealer, that, I know how to find shit. Even when motherfuckers try to hide it. Again, you might want to have a little open, hey, mister, somebody got to say this shit. You might want to have an open confession and confess all your sins, and you got 24 hours to do it. Tell us all your sins before I do it. By the time I end this stream, you have 24 hours. If you don't, I'm going to air you smooth the fuck out. One by fucking one. Okay? I'm going to leave you. You going to get mines or get naked. And since I don't want you for mines, you got to get naked. Okay? I'm going to leave you naked running down the street. That's a way that you drugs dealers humiliate other people. When they do something, make them run down the street naked. Get mines or get naked, bitch. And I told you I was going to get you. It wasn't an issue of if or when. It wasn't an issue of if, but when, bitch. Okay? Like I told you, you better tell it. You better go over there and start confessing your sins. You better tell it. You better tell it. You wondering how I got you up out of here that fast, ain't you? That's because I can hold a ratchet in both hands. So, but I'm actually I'm actually left-handed, but I can actually use both. I can use both hands. But again, here is the beacon of motherhood here. And you had to take this fool to court to take care of your youngins. What about your youngins? What about your youngins? Candy, Kendall Crotch, we've got to do something to save the children. Yeah. Yeah. Let the doxing wars begin, bitch. You started it. I'm gonna finish it. So let me get this right. You picked a ain't shit ass nigga. Why couldn't you keep this nigga? But she run around telling folks that they pussy is trash. That's why they couldn't keep the motherfucker. He couldn't possibly, you know what I mean? It couldn't possibly have started out good. It couldn't possibly have started out as sweet as sugar and turned to shit. Like every other woman has in relationships. Relationships fail. Women get into relationships, even relationships that are unhealthy. We get caught up in our feelings, ignore, throw caution to the wind, and nonetheless, we make a stupid fucking decision. Every fucking woman has done that. I don't believe a lot of y'all self-righteous bitches, because that whole spirit jumps off of you whenever I'm in your goddamn presence. So I know you were the type of bitch that not a dick was safe within a goddamn 100-mile motherfucking radius of you. Yes. I know that's what a lot of you bitches are. And because you're getting ready to die, and you basically, you think that you can somehow redeem yourself by becoming abusive to another goddamn woman, because your hoeing days are over. Because you can't throw your pussy from the free throw line. Ain't no, you don't have any takers. Don't nobody want it. Don't nobody want that pussy but Earl, bitch. Get into it. Don't nobody want that pussy but John Henry. Y'all want to slither your ass around here and fuck a couple of Bilals. You want to fuck some Jamals and Jamars. Okay? No, bitch, you better carry your ass and go fuck Luther like you been doing. Okay? Go fuck Luther like you been doing, bitch. After church service is over on Sunday. Suck his dick in the car, just like suck his dick in the church parking lot. Just like your mama and your grandmama did. The pastor and all his friends. Y'all bitches ain't fooling nobody. Get into it. They want to run around this mother. They want to fuck a couple of Kareems. Bitch, you better go fuck John Henry. That's the only nigga that want that pussy. John Henry. Kareem don't want your silver snatched. He don't want a silver snatched motherfucking senior citizen throwing that pussy at him from the free throw line. Okay? He wants you to throw your purse. He wants you to throw your pocketbook, bitch. Not your silver head snatch. Go find somebody your goddamn age to fuck on. Yes. So here we have, that's why I said, it's always, so the reason for me using the term where there's smoke, Becky said, Doc Candy, nightstand cartel, the soccer mama of the decade. Yes. Yes. Candy, you told us about your mama. It was a couple of things that you left out about your mama, ain't it, Candy? That's what you and Lady Lie got in common, ain't it? Yeah. You and Lady Lie mom got something in common. You want to go ahead on and tell the folks, Candy, before I put it out there? Tell them about your mama history. Tell them about your mama history, and you got 24 hours to do it and come clean, bitch. Because if you don't, I'ma do it. You got 24 hours to come clean and tell folks how that young man got shot in that car. I'm going to post the link to the motherfucking article, right? With you being a witness for the Indiana police and provided them information that had them go pursue this individual based on your eyewitness identification. In some kind of way, you were the girlfriend of somebody, weren't you? That's what I found interesting. Oh, they ain't gonna like this type of teaching. See, that's what I found interesting. that you were listed there as, oh, I don't know, somebody or another's girlfriend. And you ultimately provided information to law enforcement that resulted in a man being shot. And it wasn't even a man, it was a boy, by the police. After they pursued these individuals based on your eyewitness identification. So, bitch, you been a rat, and there's paperwork to fucking support it. While you running your bitch ass around here talking about me not taking a case. Why the fuck would I take a case that was beatable, bitch? Okay? And when you talk about, you know what's interesting, y'all? This bitch is kind of throwed off. So I was wondering, I said, does this, now mind you, even though the name Thomas and Roberts is involved, take a look at what the name, she's a sick, psychotic bitch. Probably closer to a fucking narcopath. So when it's said and done, I would hate to think that her obsession with TS had anything to do with she's a weirdo like that. So again, the link is in the chat. I'm going to need you to go on and tell folks about that eyewitness identification. While you running around here calling folks rats. So am I surprised by it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I ain't surprised by nothing I found on you hoes. As a matter of fact, that's why I went and looked some shit up. Because it wasn't making no sense. What you were doing to another woman was inconsistent. You having the time to do all of this for months and months and months on end is not indicative of a bitch having some business about herself. Bitches that are living their best life just don't make time to do that type of shit. But as far as you raggedy bitches, whether that's Candy, Lady La, Bella, any of y'all bitches, when I do my pre-recorded, you bitches aren't even going to be mentioned. All of your names that's in the titles, all of that shit's going to be removed. But somebody, when you go to pull these stunts again, somebody that was around then is going to direct them to them videos, and they're going to know that you're the one that's talking. There's nothing I can do about the name being mentioned in the video. But as far as the titles, as far as the tags, all that type of shit, no, man. No, man. You gotta earn. Listen, when it's said and done, you gotta pay your own dues. Pay your own dues. These hoes are going to become case studies. And I'm going to take that video editing software. And I'm coming up on the second hour, y'all. I told you I was going to be up here for 2 hours. So the other receipts I'm going to have to show in tomorrow's sermon. So what happens is, instead of the creativity and originality, what a lot of these chicks have, like the Bella Amores, is a sense of entitlement. That's pretty much what it is. So the other thing that I'm going to start doing in when I talk to my brother Darren, I figured that out, is start having private streams. And the channel that I'm going to be working on is going to be, I want to set that, at least have one channel, okay, set up to where I'm able to get memberships and just pulling back from the platform in terms of working on my blog, starting to get back into my podcasting and getting better with my editing, doing branding. The other reason why I gave, I put that phone number out there with that disclaimer, is that I don't want my people or the people that I rock with on the platform to feel abandoned. But No, if I'm watching from the clouds, if you call for me from the clouds, I drop down out the clouds. Other than that, don't expect for me to go to anybody's panel, be clicking on links or pulling up in chat rooms and stuff like that. I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of that. Because when you try to do that, people can twist that and turn it around on you and say, well, you were there, you had an agenda. Like, I'm over that shit. Keith said Bella audio or more. Right. That was her sales pitch to everybody. And when I show them text messages tomorrow, right? If I have a chance, I'll get to the audio. But when I show those text messages tomorrow, what you'll see is the type of shit that she was telling people about Candy and Lady Lie and about other people. And you'll see how she was master manipulating. But they're right back over there. What's the difference in between her letting Bella come up on the panel? Now, mind you, this is supposed to be Candy's, at one time, this Lady Lass and Candy's are supposed to be besties. But you see how quick when bitches have an agenda? What's the difference in between what Bella did? Bella was over there attacking both of their asses from ZX's panel. So what's the difference between Lady Lie hitting ZX's link? Keep in mind, she never had to drop out of the clouds. She chose to do that. Now, all of a sudden, she's going live talking about she's not going to fuck with ZX just because, because they got playing. She's not going to play the enemy of my enemy is my friend. But bitch, that's the game you playing with Bella. That's the game you and Candy both played with her. And you haven't even seen not even a third or a quarter of the shit that the bitch was saying. And if you think I'm the only person that she told that to, then you're sadly mistaken. Because ZX was her bestie. At least since January. So I found that interesting. Okay. So hold on, mods, if you can drop the hold on, let me make sure I grab that link for you for the new channel. This is going to be my my true crime. Give me 1 second. This is going to be my true crime, current events, trending stories, trending topics channel. And I have some goals set for the next 3 months on that channel. You can almost tell just what what type of dumb motherfuckers these are just by the comments that they put in there. That's my new channel there. That's where I'm going to be doing the true crime content, current events, and trending topics. And I'm also going to be doing my case studies on that, but I won't be streaming from that channel. It'll be uploaded and edited to that channel, because the other thing that I have to work on is my Patreon. My Patreon, the podcast, and my blog. Okay. And I'll post the links. I'll pin the links in the comments under this live stream. Okay. Because I actually have 2 blogs. One is the Nubian Narcissist Nemesis blog. And let me see. I wanted to keep this under 2 hours. Try to see. I don't want anything to be really dragging. Okay. Sorry, y'all, about that noise. I know that mic is loud. I just wanted to just, say that, like, I don't mind, beefing. I do that. I can beef, satirically. I really don't even have to. I like to cuss You know, I wouldn't even tell you. I think on the channel that I intend to monetize, I think you have to have family friendly content on that. But my other channels, I'm not even gonna get up here and tell you the damn lie that I'm gonna stop cussing, because I actually like to cuss. Okay, it keeps my throat clear. Cussing keeps my throat chakra clear, and then it'll give me some other time to work on some other things, like my gardening and stuff like that, and some other things that I have in store. So, right. So again, just keep in mind that you can't build with everybody. First and foremost, you can't build with bullshitters. Men should be able to build with other men. It's not that you don't come together. See, and that's another thing that I don't want my content. There's a reason why I'm not over associating like that heavily with the divestment community anymore. Okay. I think that there has to be balance as far as anything. I don't want to go too far to the left in terms of which it can happen sometimes when you have certain experiences. If you have certain experiences as a Black woman, it can make you vitriolic. And especially when you feel very unprotected, you feel violated, you feel very vulnerable, and there's no voice for you. There's nobody to really defend you, and all the more so if you're a strong individual. So I try to be mindful that I can go very, very far to the left. Like I can be almost like a Black female Hitler when it comes to Black males, if I get triggered by certain things. And that's not healthy. That's toxic. That's toxic for me, as far as, you know what I mean? So I want to stay away from I don't do the whole gender war thing. I was on this platform as a subscriber when that stuff first started happening. Ever since the day even before it came to this platform, it started on Blog Talk Radio. Deborah Cooper is actually one of the content creators that was over there on Blog Talk Radio at the onset of this whole gender war thing. That was pre-Manosphere. Hey, Grandma Butterfly. Hey, Jay Banks. Okay. Okay, Jazz. You know, so what you have to remember is that every time you try to get back to building, that was my experience. Every time you try to get back to building, there's this constant baiting or constant bitches coming for you, and you ain't fucking send for them. A part of that has to do with the crab in the barrel mentality, because they can't do anything differently. So they don't want that for you. And that's pretty much what it is. That's the only thing they have the ability to do. They don't have the ability to do anything else. And because they can't, they don't want you to do anything either. And that's what we got to realize, that these motherfuckers don't want you to move on. Okay? They don't want you to have anything they can't build themselves. So they sit around and they plot and they scheme about how they're going to get to the next level. What you have, work is involved. Time is involved. Energy is involved. All time and energy that you spend stalking another bitch on YouTube, that could be invested into getting to the next level. It's really just that simple. But they don't get the gist of that. In a lot of their minds, I have to obliterate this bitch in order for me to get on. I have to destroy her so that way I can shine. You have to watch out for people that think like that. Because long term, it'll be detrimental to you. And like I said, be very cautious of people that attempt to isolate you. They want to talk to you privately. For what reason? Do you know them personally? If you don't know them personally, there's no reason for them to talk to you privately. They should be able to talk to you. They can leave you a comment. They can send you an email. There's really no need to be having a telephone conversation. And that's kind of like what a lot of what happens on this platform, because that's a way they have to have an access point. And because you don't know what that individual's agenda is, when clearly, as we listen to those recordings, it's clear that the individuals have an agenda. And it has nothing to do with anybody's children. It has nothing to do with a genuine care or concern for the children. Like I said, when it comes to empaths and HSPs, highly sensitive people, the question to always ask is, what the fuck is the end game? If somebody comes to bring you some information, carrying bones, being water carriers, seed planters, what is the end game? Is it to help? Or is it to cause fucking inevitable harm? Because it's a complete difference. So that shit, that was like kind of like the takeaway in 2021. Even though we still had the rest of the year to go, that was kind of like the takeaway. Is it help? Is it going to help, or is it designed to just harm? And the other thing is, they talk about all this original and creative. A lot of these broads don't have a creative bone in their body. Likewise, some of these dudes, as far as YouTubers go, right? Because if they had a creative bone in their body, they would have a successful YouTube channel. A lot of these people have never lost channels. There's no reason why, if they were the shit like that, why didn't their channel pop in the first place? Especially if they haven't lost a channel. I've seen motherfuckers that have had a goddamn YouTube channel since goddamn 2008, 2000. Like, what the like you? So what were you doing all that time? And I've learned to pay attention to that. They get up here and say, I have no reason to do this, and this was Bella's whole pitch on Lady Lot's channel the other day. I have no reason to do this. I have a successful this, that, and all the other, and why all that other bullshit that is just that bullshit. Okay, if you have a successful YouTube channel, bitch, why aren't you on it creating content? Why are you running around creating havoc? Why are you running around trying to destroy and wreak havoc and chaos with all of this plotting and scheming and all of this here shit? Strategy for what? Go to your fucking channel and put content out. That's the strategy, bitch. Get into it. That's the strategy. Put some work in. That's the strategy. Pay some dues. That's the strategy too. Why isn't anybody using that strategy? Why is it all this plotting and scheming? And any day now, this, they're sitting around, waiting on you and another content creator to fall out, doing whatever they can do to expedite that process. And they're sitting back, folding their hands and licking their fingers and, just waiting for it all those type of motherfuckers. Get those type of individuals from around you. Even if you have them in your real, in not just online, but don't have people like that around you in your real life, because you will never reach your pinnacle. And sometimes as a people, it's almost like a damn Achilles heel. So certain if I may come back. It depends on if I get my editing done. I may come back a little bit later on tonight and talk about something a little bit different. But like I said, you know, I'm still for the most part divestment minded as far as it relates to the Black community, because like I said, I just feel that and that's just my personal feelings about it. Oops, off my desk. I feel like, I'm sorry y'all, that's I just feel like when it comes to the Black community, I don't feel that there's a lot of love and support for the Black woman in the Black community. So I will probably be divestment minded for the remainder of my days. Okay. I don't see anything going on. I see a lot of usury and exploitation going on in the Black community. And I don't believe it's conducive to Black women really building and living their best life to continue to keep, as motherfuckers said in titles, to be the gift that keeps giving. Okay? While the whole time they're exploiting. And like I said, that's just my personal opinion. I don't believe that ZX ever had any intent of making peace with Jazzy. And I'm going to say this in closing. I don't believe ZX ever had any intent of making peace with Jazzy. I think ZX only wanted information about Jazzy that he could weaponize. And he was willing to be disloyal and snake his own people in order to do that. Because his agenda, I think he knew that because Cynthia and Jazzy were ops, I think he knew that that wouldn't go well over with her to just say, okay, well, I'm just trying to get information. I don't think he believed that would go over well with her. So I think he pitched that whole snake and oil pitch, that he was coming in from a fatherly perspective. But no, it was with an agenda, the same way it was when he was on the phone with Intrinsic and Bella. And that's just my opinion about it. You know, and sometimes, you know, it's unfortunate that you may like two people that don't like each other, but that's not really your issue. You know, and nobody should be attempting to pull you into an issue that isn't your issue, or trying to make it your issue because it's their issue. You know, and I just thought that was kind of fucked up last night, because I'm saying to myself, this is excellent commentary. Like, where are these people that pull up, that do all of this trolling, that do all of this? You see how Nikki Baker popped into my chat earlier. She's popping down out the clouds. And again, I said what I said. And here's the thing. Even if, just say for instance, what she was saying was the truth, and we know I know it's not, right? If that was the truth, what type of married woman would sit on the phone if, according to what she said is true, ZX's mod, his miss, you know, the one that's committing at best an emotional affair on the husband? What type of woman that's married that would sit on the phone with a man that's a senior citizen as he's talking to a woman in her 30s about a sexual experience? What married woman do you know that does that? That's the type of psyche that you're dealing with. You got to ask yourself, again, remember, a pimp has a bottom bitch. How many women in the chat that are married or in a relationship. Could a man that you know from YouTube tell you, hey, what's up, Hanlon? Tell you, hey, sit in on this call with me. And they're asking about sexual, things that have to do with a sexual nature involving another YouTuber. And you're sitting there listening to it, according to what she said, while he's talking about eating ass and all of that type of stuff. What married woman do you know that does that? And you know the reason why I don't believe that is because everybody that was around at that time remembers that Nikki Baker was MIA when ZX first made that truce with Jazzy. Think about that. If she was there to record the calls and to do all of this bullshit, why was she conveniently missing out of his chat during the initial phases of him making that faux truce? With Jazzy? Because she was there recording, listening to the recordings as they were talking about the sexually, again, you're talking about being very sexually graphic, this obsession with the eating of the asses. No, it's not a coincidence that an individual that has not paid dues, like a lot of the Black women in this sector, or even some of the Black men in the sector that have been down in the freaking trenches. This dude is not originally from this sector. He's not from this sector. So he hasn't been down in the trenches like that in this sector. What he has done is strategically position himself next to Black women that have. That's not by accident. Other men that are content creators should, be able to have a good relationship with other men. Don't believe that bullshit that everybody's always hating. As he's sitting there going through those different pictures of himself and stuff like that, you know what it brings to mind? Have you all ever heard of the story of Narcissist who fell in love with himself and he eventually died because he fell into the water because he couldn't stop looking at himself? So he just basically spent his entire existence looking at the reflection of himself because he was in love with what he saw in the mirror. Okay? This is another reason why I'm going to limit the live streaming, because it just gives them an opportunity to just come into the chat. Gives them an opportunity to come into the chat and just that's mental illness of a different type. That has nothing to do with being bipolar. That's not a mental illness that you could take a goddamn pill for. Okay? So I thought about that in retrospect. He was actually willing to snake his own damn people for the sole purpose of hurting somebody else to get whatever information he could get. So knowing that this is what his agenda is, that he hasn't paid any dues, he hasn't been in any trenches or anything like that, but he's managed to strategically position himself with certain women content creators. It helps him as long as you keep addressing him. The way to deal with an individual like that is to ignore him. You have to literally fuck gray rock. You have to cinder block a motherfucker like that. where you don't mention his name and don't give him any shine. You have to use something in lieu of his name when you're referring to him. Okay, so the breakdown of him is going to be in terms of case studies, using old live streams that he was on, using audio recordings, using text messages in pre-recorded content to point out the manipulation. So that way I'm not distracted by the chat. I'm not distracted by the trolls. I don't have to do a bunch of multitasking. I've taken the time to prepare it in advance to make a production out of it. So that way nothing, no thought is missed. No point that I wanted to prove is missed. But as far as using an individual's name, doing all of that shit in the titles, back and forth, all of that shit is going to be changed. So therefore, if they're using my name in titles when it's said and done, I consider that free promotion. I need all I can get for my blog, for my podcast, for my YouTube channel. So have at it. All of those hashtags are going to be removed. All of that shit. Okay. When it's said and done, they'll look like exactly what they are, which is a professional dick rider. All right, y'all. I stayed a little bit longer than I anticipated on staying. If everything goes according to plan, the rest of the receipts, I'll show receipts tomorrow, but it'll be more in thank you, Callie Jane. The receipts will be more in terms of like they'll be incorporated into production. And even as far as that still has to be limited to 2 hours. I got a lot of stuff that I have to work on. I have to work on branding, taking down all of that stuff like that. And the other thing is, because you see so many of these trolls, pay close attention to the way that my name is. I'll type my I'm going to type, where the heck is my darn mouse at? My mouse done fell. Probably fucking fell on my desk. Hold on. The way I type, the way I change my name, the way I put my name, so because you know they create these troll accounts and then go in different chat rooms trolling under those different accounts. So if it doesn't look like what it, if the name doesn't look like in there, they use these photographs bullshit. If it doesn't look like the name that's on my channel, it's not me. Okay, I don't troll people under troll accounts. All right. So and here is the article involving here is the article involving Candy's stepson here. So perhaps instead of going around the platform stalking Jazzy, she can actually devote some of that time and energy to concentrating on her own family. There's the link in the chat. Here's the link, and there was also he made it to the gun memorial. He was just added to the gun memorial a couple of days ago. The article I'm dropping in the chat, I'm dropping the link to for those of you who care to go, and I think you can do something like add flowers or something like that virtually. I know you can do that from the gun memorial. And I'm dropping the links to the article. This is to the hold on. Wait a minute. That's to the criminal history. And for those of y'all that didn't get it, that didn't get the link earlier, when I put the link in the chat, as far as me asking Candy why and how that individual ended up. This is the amount of goddamn child support. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking. This is, if I'm not mistaken, hold on a second. These are all the goddamn child support cases, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous. I'm counting four different child support cases that was filed, dating all the way back from the year 2000. Now, I don't know if they want to, hopefully some of the links won't be chopped up, but it may be. It depends on how many words are in it. Yeah, I don't think that one is going to go. That's just too many words. So nobody will be able to say somebody made something up or none of that other bullshit. Or nobody conjured up no receipts or anything else like that. Nope. You can get them straight from the get the receipts yourself from the state, from the state database. Again, that's the father's child support history. I'm sorry, y'all. That's one receipt I'm looking for. And again, here is from the case that Candy was an eyewitness for, where a young man was ultimately shot as a result of Candy giving some sort of description. Eyewitness, basically a documented rat on paperwork, but running around here worrying about somebody else's goddamn case. And here's the other thing, Candy. You run around and you make fun of people. Have you ever filed for bankruptcy? That's some more shit you might want to get clear about. Have you ever filed for bankruptcy? Doesn't matter whether or not you lie about it. I have the case, the docket numbers. And nobody was fired. Nobody has to get fired, or nobody has to violate any. All of this is like they always say, when they're being fucking hypocritical and putting out your information. Oh, this is all public information. Well, it actually is. It's all public information. That's why I'm providing the links. In ZX, the other thing I found that I'm going to be bringing out in tomorrow is ZX. I think he got it honesty because his mama don't pay bills either. Your mama got a finger hut done had to sue your mama. To get their money from her. So your mama don't even get blankets and toasters and shit like that and pay back money. So I mean, it's just, again, y'all might want to concentrate on your own goddamn families and what the hell. And that wasn't the only one I found. I found 3 different lawsuits where her ass had to be sued for money that she owed. And one of them was goddamn, listen, concealed ringleader, damn Finger Hut. Finger Hut, honey, get into it. And it was a couple of places that say, listen, she might be a goddamn geriatric scammer. I'll let y'all make the decision. Listen, y'all, I shit y'all now. Hold on. Listen, y'all know, no, I'm going to show y'all tomorrow. Y'all think y'all not going to keep me up here. Listen, I said, what? I said, Finger Hut. What in the fuck is going on? And oh no, that's your mama. That's her address right there. Name and address. Unlike you, I don't just put shit out without cross-referencing. If I make a mistake, I'll admit it. Okay, I was wrong. I'll retract that shit. I'll put it in the live stream. No, that's that bitch. Whatever she got, toasters, crock pots, what do you call them things? Heating pads. Whatever the bitch got, she did not pay them back their money. And they sued her ass for it and filed a judgment against her and won. And it wasn't the only time she sued. She was sued. It was twice, 2 other judgments. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. It's a lot of redacted information. She might be a geriatric scammer. So here it is while he running around, right, Dior Diva, some orthopedic shoes or something. Was it a goddamn knee brace, a back brace? Was it a back scratcher? I don't know what it was. But the bitch ain't paid Finger Hut their money and they sued the bitch. While he's up here talking about not my mother. No. That's some ratchet bitch shit. Because like Concealed Ringleader said, you mean to tell me you couldn't afford to pay $26.99 a month? Why didn't you pay the folks back their money? That's some ratchet. That's ratchet chick. No, Dior. They ain't even have Rachel Ray. They ain't even have during the time. They ain't even have. She can't even blame that on having no Rachel happening to have the Rachel Ray pots. Rachel Ray wasn't even in Walmart during that time. Bitches out here finessing Finger Huts for skillets and shit. For electronic skillets and fucking teapots. Bitches out here robbing Finger Hut for fucking coffee pots. And niggas online talking a whole bunch of heavy motherfucking shit. Okay? Get into it. Child, they want to be heavyweights. But they want to go to war with on some featherweight shit. But they want heavyweight title. Well, you got to pay dues for that. Okay? It's really just that simple. Stop letting motherfuckers attach their pet poos to yours. No, this is an able-bodied man. Just all you got to do, look at his body of work. If he was really about the community, listen, you actually have brothers on this platform that actually are in the community, that actually do things for the community. Think about that very carefully. They do go out and do things for the community. Even if it's just their immediate community, they do things in the community. They do things to other people, that do things for other people that are humanitarian. For all of that, you can go volunteer at a goddamn soup kitchen. You can do something to give back. When you hear people doing a bunch of talking about community this, community activist this, community activist that, but they can't even on a social media platform, they can't maintain healthy rapport with other male content creators. If it's always attaching themselves to female content creators. That's a bit predatory. That's for the sole purpose of being able to manipulate. Right. Listen, you know what, Jazzy? That's why I provided the links. No laws were violated to get that information. Those are your county. The information is available in your county goddamn courthouse. Okay? Every single receipt that was shared, that's all. That was all a matter of public record. Okay? So, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. Go grab me something to eat. You all enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch up with you later. Peace. Thank you, everybody.